Hi everyone, it's Angela here from Stamping Beauty in Christchurch, New Zealand. It's Friday again and excited for the weekend. I've got my auntie's 80th birthday tomorrow, so that'll be fun, family event, and the weather's supposed to be nice, so that'll be good. If you saw the description, I'm going to be doing some cards, One Sheet Wonder cards. I've created 6 cards, so there are 2. So just I'll show you I'm using this DSP here, which is super cute, on the back. So when you're doing One Sheet Wonders, you just want to have something, a sheet that works well together, and those ones I think work really cute together. So I'm using that and coordinating cardstock. So that's one of the cards here. And then the reverse of that is that one there. So just really simple, but I just thought it's a great way to use up that DSP that we have sitting aside. That one there. Oh, hi Lynette. Thanks for coming along. What's it like in Melbourne? Hope you're having nice weather. And then this one here. This one. So you can put any sentiments that sort of suit your needs. So I will get started because I think it might take a little bit of time to get these made. I haven't pre-cut anything, so I wanted to do it all from scratch and show just how simple it is to do it. So I'll flick, I'll add that. Mute. Right. Hopefully get some sunshine in, and we're good to go. So here you can see all these cards again. And I've used the 2 stamp sets with this, the Biggest Wish and Artistically Inked. Oh, sticky and hot. At least you can be inside, can you, with some air conditioning, hopefully. So I've done, and I will add this later. This is my crazy little description sheet of measurements, but I'll go through that. So, and then at the end of it, all I was left over with was this tiny little piece here and these 2 tiny strips. So pretty great way to use DSP without wastage. And I wanted to make it fairly simple. So I've got my cutter, and probably can't see all of it. So I'll try and make sure I can get as much in as possible. So with this one, it's not too important, but they are the peaches facing down, so we'll go with that. And then all I've done is cut them at the length I want. So our length here, I'll just show you here, is 14.4. So that's what I've done, is I've done them automatically across here at 14.4. And then I've done another one, so I'll put that aside, and then the next one is 14.4. So that's super duper easy. And then you have this strip here left, and that strip I used one side, these 2 cards here, that's on there and then on there. So I'll set that aside and keep that for later. And then with the first piece, they're both the same, so it doesn't matter. The width of these is 10, so I've gone straight ahead and cut them to 10 centimeters. I've got 1, 2, and then 3. And that is one of those tiny little pieces that doesn't get used. And then on the second piece, I've done the same, kept it to 10 centimeters. 10 and 10 for that other tiny little piece to get rid of. And then, so what I'm going to do is put each of these sheets with the cards that I've created, so it just makes it easier. So that is that bit there. That one is that one there. And then I'll just put a sheet with each, because that's pretty much what you're going to do, is cut them from there. So we'll do those one by one so you get a good idea of what we're doing. Right, so we'll start with this one. So this one here is cut at 10 centimeters. So what we're going to do is go to 10 here and just cut that one in half, and then that becomes top piece there and the bottom piece there, and that's it, ready to go. And then this one here is cut at 2.5 centimeters down this piece here. So I'm just going to pop that in at 2.5, which is just under an inch, just slight fractionally, and then just trim that there, and that one comes that piece there. So set that one aside. This one here, this is pretty much in half, so it's about, so we've got 14.4, so it's 7.2. You can change that up if you want that to be slightly different. Higher at the top, lower. Oopsie, turning it on. Yeah. And then this one here, I've done it in, it's probably, you see that those two there and those two there. So it's 10 centimeters wide. So I want to cut it at 5. And then it's 14.4, so 7.2 on both of those. So you've got your 4 pieces there. And this one is that total piece, and that one there is the total piece. And that, as I said, is 10 centimeters wide. So I just want to do that off that little strip here. Do that at 10. And 10 again. And that is going to go, that one on there, and that one on the other side on here. So I find it quite handy just to keep those with the ones I've already done. Of course, if you haven't got that, you won't be able to do that. But and then I'm going to start. So I've done predominantly the Pear Pizzazz card bases. So I've got 4 of those. So I've got some cardstock here. So I'll just cut that in half, which for us is 14.9. 2, 3, 4, and then I just need 2 in the Calypso coral. So that's done, we're ready to go. So that first one is here. Now what I've also done, and you don't have to, it just does make it, I found, easier, not so much for that one there that is plain, but for some of the other ones where you are, let me find one. Say, really want to find the here, this one here with the 4 pieces. If you're a bit worried about sticking them on and getting them even, you could have a bit of white cardstock the exact same size and then stick them onto that and then add them on, especially if you are wrapping ribbon around. Anyway, but this one will just, and also you can do that to lift it up a little bit, but not necessary. My stash. Some cardstock, white cardstock pre-cut that is that size, so it's half a centimetre smaller, so it's 9 point no, it's yes, because that's 10, so sorry, it's 10 by 14.4, so that will sit exactly on the top. So you could do that and then mount that with some dimensionals if you wanted to give it a bit of a lift, or add some more cardstock just to give a thin layer, thin bulk. So we'll start with this one. So I'll just fold that in half. And I've lost my bone folder. I had a zillion bone folders, but somehow it's a little bit crazy, isn't it? When you need one. Hold on, just grab one, won't you see? Oh yeah, that's disappeared too. As I say, it's the Bermuda Triangle in this craft room sometimes. So I've got that there, and then I'm just going to adhere that onto here. So I'll put out all the measurements up later if you're interested. So I've got that there, and I'll just and then this one here, I've just got that on a little bit more Pear Pizzazz. So I'll just cut just make a little bit more Pear Pizzazz. So that piece there, just want it to be here. So this piece here is just under 2 centimetres. So we'll do a 2 centimetre strip just to give a little bit of frame. Top of the bottom, and then it's 10 centimetres wide, so I'll just go ahead and cut that. So hopefully that will work. You can always trim it down a little bit just with the scissors if it's not quite right, so I'll just put that onto there. And I'll pop this onto the card front. And then you might want, for this one, I've put some dimensionals on this strip here and on the happy birthday. I know I've told this story 100 times before, but once I showed my husband a card when I first started card making, and I said, "What do you think of this?" And he said, "It's a little bit flat," because I hadn't used any dimensionals. So I always try and add a little bit of height. So just line that up with what I've already done. And I always use the lines on the grid paper underneath, so I've lined it up with that one and that one. Just makes it easier. So that's about 4 centimetres from the bottom. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment, and I've just got this happy birthday one from that Artistically ink stamp set. And I'm doing that in the Pear Pizzazz. So you can do these whatever, you know, mix and match the colours. And there are other colours in that DSP you might prefer. I'll just get some white cardstock and my Pear Pizzazz cat here. Just hopefully that's straightish on one edge, at least then it's one less edge I have to cut. So I'll just trim that down. trim it as much. You know, don't have to trim it too much if you don't want to. Hard to get it straight sometimes. Actually, I might trim off this side first and then I can go from there. And I at least know that edge is straight. Just line it up with whatever, some lettering or oops, fingers and thumbs today. That's about right. And then just trim off the ends. Looks okay. So I've put those up on dimensionals as well. So the half ones would be okay for that. So this is a great way if you've got, you know, sometimes you have stragglers left of your DSP, ones that maybe you're not quite so keen on. You could easily whip them up into some one sheet wonders. Oh, hi Sharon, hi Narelle. I know husbands do, they don't quite see things the same way, do they? Right, so that's that one. And then I've just using the this is the Whisper White Crinkled seam binding. I love this. You could, in some of the others I've coloured it, but then on this one I decided I'd keep it white. So I just take, you can either do it like that or do the sort of two bunny ears and knot them together. So like that, and just bring it through, knot it. I find this ribbon is so great for sort of manipulate it to how you want to look. So that's probably about as much as I need. Just get off. You can sort of, yeah, tighten it and then pull it and see it sort of does flatten it. I'm just going to put that on there. So I'll put a glue dot down and then I'll try and fiddle with it a wee bit more. It's always like that, there to go behind, and on this one it to go behind as well. See, so you can sort of just pull that tighter. And even once you've got the glue dot on, you can manage to pull that through a bit, or move a little bit. So that's that. And then just want to put some rhinestones on, and I'll use these ones here. Can colour them as well. I'm just going to keep them plain on this one. They've coloured some. And up here. And there, that's it. One card done. So that was pretty easy. And I'll do the other one with the back side, so to speak. I'm going to do that on the Calypso Coral. It is easy to do like-minded cards the same. It's quicker then. And while I'm on that mindset. So if you didn't want to put the white extra piece in, you can just put this straight on. You see, I never go right to the edge because it will spread when it flattens down, and then it means that when I pick it up, I'm not going to get glue everywhere. Right, and then bring in a bit of Calypso coral cardstock. Make sure it's wide enough. Just so, and I want that to be, so that's 10 centimeters wide, and then 2 centimeters. And then again, so I'm going to do the same, exactly the same. I need a bigger desk. Just managed to lose more stuff. So I'm just going to use that same stamp again. Let's clean that off. And bring in the Calypso coral this time. It's got something stuck to it. It's probably glue, because it doesn't mess with the stamping. Give it a go. It's okay. So put that away before I land on it or something. I'm going to do this. So I need my little bit of DSP, and I'm going to put it up that way this time. So I'll just glue that on, get that out of the way. And then I'm going to do the same thing again and pop some dimensionals on the back. Everyone's quiet this morning. Yeah, they are great. Well, I've also done a 2-sheet wonder before too. That makes a lot more cards. I always like using up the DSP. It's so pretty, and may as well showcase it. And also make a really nice gift, especially if you've picked out some DSP that you know was somebody's favorite or in their favorite colorway, then you know that they would like that. So just put some dimensionals on the back of that. Spread that along there, and then just tuck that up onto there. And do another white bow. Yeah, I use my papers. I love using them up, getting the new ones. And I always love it, especially when I get to use most of it. You know, this one, there's hardly any scraps, so you feel quite good that you've made good use of it. Hopefully that's about the right size. And just put a glue dot. The trouble is too, if you hold on for them, you know, papers for too long, then the colours have gone, so you can't, unless you keep everything. I know it is it is great ribbon. I love this ribbon because it's just so easy to manipulate. And as I say, you can colour it too. I'm going to colour some soon. But even just as white, it's really pretty, and it's sort of got a little bit of a sheen to it. Might leave those a little bit longer this time. And then I'm just going to add some rhinestones to those. And do the same thing. Life simple. Oh, these ones actually I did colour, so I'll colour 3 of these. So I've got the this is a Calypso coral blend, and you can see it's been well loved. So I just colour it there. It doesn't, I don't know if you can see, it's not too bright, but if you let it dry for a little bit, you can go over it and get a bit more depth of colour. Doesn't take too long to dry. I'm usually too impatient to wait for things. So yeah, it just gives a little bit of a tinge, and then just add those on. Stick those in between the gaps of the peaches. And yeah, that's the second card. So, you know, quick. Yeah, it is good size ribbon. Yeah, width wise, not too big, not too small. Right, so that's the second card. So what time is it now? Oh, 26 minutes. Okay, but we have cut up all the paper, so it has that does help. So then this one here is on there. So same thing again. This is a Calypso coral. I've folded here already. So as I say, you could do the white piece if you wanted to add. So I'll do one with this one. So I'm just going to put blue all over the back. Just means then if you don't quite get it matched up, you can trim it off before it's on your card front. And then you're trying to tear off pieces. Known to do that. And then this one down the bottom here. And this last piece, I'm not sure which way the piece, I think that way. We'll go with that. Don't tell anyone that you're not sure, nobody will be the wiser, will they? And then just put that straight onto the card. So that's easy. And then got these frames. This is the Stitch So Sweetly. This is another one of those, I think, must-have sets. Everything goes with these. So I want Calypso coral, so a piece for that, and a piece for the white. And the good thing is the stamps that I'm using for this are the photopolymer, so you can die cut it first and then stamp it. So I'll just bring in my machine. I probably should have just got out my mini one. That would have worked for these dies. I'll just pop that one on. Yeah, what I tend to do, because sometimes it does discolour a little bit when I'm sort of takes on the plate colour. Just trim. See, can't see what I'm doing. Just trimming that down. And I've lost the other die, which oh no, here it is. Just pop those on. And rectangle ones, I find if you pop them or square, put them on an angle, it just goes through machine just a little bit easier. It doesn't sort of clunk the same way it does if you put them straight on. And then got those there. And then put that out there. And then I'm just going to do the happy birthday, and they're both in the Calypso coral to coordinate. And so I've got, I'll put the birthday on first. See, so it's clear, you can just see straight through. Make sure you can see that you've got your ink on well too. So I'm just going to pop that, line it up with the bottom with the dots, that stitched edging, and then happy. So let's tuck that up. Yeah. No presto, easy peasy. If you see like that, see it's missed some little gaps. I don't know if you can see. Can the blends pen, that just works, just add, the colour's really good. Just touch it up a little bit. And then all I've done is add both of these on dimensionals, so you don't need too many. 5 usually works okay on that. And then pop that onto the other rectangle, and then same again, put some more of those there. And then card front, make sure it's up the right way, and tuck that on. Might just bring it up a little bit higher. And then all I've done with that is more of the rhinestones. So I've just put those. I need to open another pack, I think. Ending up with all these little ones, but just to use them up. One up there. So that is card number 3. So that was, oh, hi Joan, nice to see you. Yep, you can go back and watch the rest if you like, or not. Just doing cards using this DSP. So this is card number 3, and now we're on to card number 4. So we're just doing some, it's like speed dating, isn't it? But with cards. Sometimes you know, you do just need cards for gifts, or you know, because I think bundled up, you know, with some ribbon around them, make a really nice gift for someone. And so this one here, I'm going to put some ribbon around it. So I think it does will be a good idea to put it on a piece of white cardstock. So I'll just glue that on. And that one down the bottom. So you can do this with absolutely any of our papers. And I think what I like about this is it's got the white in it and the white in it. Some of them don't, but I just think if they do have that, it just makes them coordinate a little bit better. Their backgrounds are either all coloured or plain white. Hi Philomena, nice to have you here. Whereabouts are you? Yeah, so yeah, nice to have some people in different parts of the world, or even here in Christchurch, isn't it? Right, Jane. Oh, you've been cleaning. Yeah, I always like a clean house, but sometimes it's just don't always feel like doing it. Right, so I've got this ribbon, and I'm just going to measure it, just the width, bring it across to here, and then colour it. So you just got to be careful, because you know, like colouring the rhinestones and, you know, and this sort of thing with the ribbon, you can damage it. So just try and put it on the side, and then you get more coverage as well, rather than using the end of it. Less chance of damaging than the tip of the pen. And I'll do that other bit in a minute, but I'll just do this bit first. I just want to we'll use some tape, and I'll put all the measurements up too, so that you can see how easy it was to do the cutting, because sometimes, you know, don't want it to be too complicated, otherwise you won't do it. So just see that, just tape that with the tape right round. and then I'm just going to glue that onto the front. So you could, as I've said before, you could put dimensionals or some backing just to pack it up, make it a bit higher. But, you know, it has got, you know, put some dimensionals on with the sentiment. So I'll do the sentiment next. So that's another one from the Stitch So Sweetly. Oh, thanks. That's really nice that you've shared it. Oh, you've tied him from that, yeah, class day. Sometimes that's not the fun part, is it? So I've got some more white, so I'll just die cut that. I won't bring my machine in. Just quickly do it. You know, if you're watching TV or something, do some die cutting and get these ahead of time. That has taken a bit off my plates. I need to bring some new clean plates in. So happy birthday, and we're doing that in the, see, wrong one, in the Pear Pizzazz. So just clean off. Oh no, I haven't used those two, so I don't need to. It's always bonus, isn't it? And I'm going to have a mess here too after I've finished. Oh, good, Narelle. I want to see what you make. Right, so just, I think sometimes they do the DSP, you know, the one sheet wonders, quite complicated. And I think sometimes that if it's too many cuts or I'm not really an angle person, so I struggle with that. I thought just want to make it quick and easy. And then I'm just going to put the birthday. See, so they're so great, aren't they, to see straight through. To get that on there. And then I'm going to do that little trick that I've been showing you, which is to do your bow without you know, doing a bow, so to speak. So we want a piece there round to here. Oh, thank you, Philomena. That's really sweet of you. I did think about doing a different DSP this morning, but sometimes it's nice to see it done exactly, so you can then go on, do it in this, and then recreate it in different DSPs. So I'm just going to colour this one as well. It gets quite stiff, this ribbon, after you've coloured it. So you want to, well, it's still easy to manipulate, but it's not as easy as it is when it's not coloured or before you've let the colouring dry too much. This pen has been well loved. And I'm not really, it's funny, I'm not really an orange person, but Calypso Coral is one of those colours I use a lot. I don't know why, just really drawn to it. Right, I think that doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be tucked in behind that. So what I'm going to do, you've probably seen me do this before, so I want it to be here and then here. So I just put those there so that I remember. And then just put my Stampin' seal on there, because that's, and you can add a bit more. So you've got plenty of room to add it to. And then put that out there, my tail, depending on how long I want it. Just stick it down onto the Stampin' seal, and then bring this around here. And then, see what I'm doing? And then bring it up to the top here, and then do that same. So it's sort of like a faux bow. And I haven't quite left enough to be the the tail over here. So what I'm going to do is just cut that off. So everybody will be any the wiser. And then I'm just going to put a glue dot down. Just put that glue dot over there. Oops. And then put that behind there. And then when I turn it around and fiddle a bit, and then maybe cut that on an angle. Cut that on an angle. You can have it through in the front or the back. You can play around with how you want that to look, and then just add some dimensionals to the back of that. And if you pop some over the ribbon, that will just make sure it doesn't come off, stuck in place. Oops. Once you get a bit carried away, don't you, with those dimensionals. Oops. And then that, so lots of scope. You can use, you know, pick your colours. Right, and then once again, more rhinestones. All this paper would look pretty with the pearls. Yeah, and you could colour them. I don't know if there is a Pizzazz. It's got that darker sort of colour in there too. Could use those. Right, so that's 2 cards. That's in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 2 to go. So this one here, I've coloured the ribbon again too, so I'll keep that in. So that's on the Pear Pizzazz. So I'll fold that. So I want that to be on a card base as well, on that bit of extra cardstock. So I have run out of those, so I'll just whip slightly smaller side. I know that's not really going to work. Let's try to cheat. I will cut some more up. So I just do them just that exact same size. So they're going to be 10, 14.4. So I quite often cut these up, you know, when I'm watching TV. If you've ever seen me, I set my ironing board up. It's nice and long, you've got plenty of room, and have a wee session cutting up papers and DSPs. Right, so I've got 2 of those. So what I'm going to do now is glue this onto here. So I'll just cover the whole, pop that on there. Match that up with that corner. And then this one here. Just want to make sure things are lined up nicely. And then I'm going to do the ribbon again. Oh, thank you, Philomena. That's really sweet. It is. Yeah, I think it's a paper. It just is really pretty. Right, so we're going to colour that. I'm looking at the time thinking, oh my gosh, this would be my longest Facebook Live. I was trying to keep them sort of to the half an hour. My mum said about calling in. I said, oh yeah, I'll be finished by 12. That's right. I'll add her in, shall I? She'd love that. So I'm going to do the same thing, just add a bit of the tearing tape. Just tuck that down there. Do the same at this end. And then, you know me, I like to get things put away, you know, stuck down, get them off my desk as soon as I can. been known to put things away and need them back. I find if I don't put things back, then I can never find them. And then just work out roughly how much I need for that. So I've done that same cheaty bow thing. Try and allow a bit more this time. You could just do the loops in the tail at each end, so you wouldn't use quite as much because you're not going through the middle, but by the time you faff around, you might as well just use that. Right, so about there. And then colour that. And you could actually, I was just thinking, because this one is getting a bit worse for wear, is use, this is the dark one, but you could easily use the light one. Give this one a break. Right, so that, yeah, don't need to be too fussy because, as I say, some of it's underneath there, and also some of it is, oh, Mr. Now I've lost the die that I need. I need that. Seems to have gone walkabout somewhere. That's a good. It's annoying when that happens, isn't it? Because then you spend days looking for it. I just have to use something else for now. I'll use that one there. I don't know where that's gone. So I'll just die cut that one. These stuck to any number of things I've had. Doing a crazy amount of stuff over the holidays, trying to catch up, get ahead. That is ever actually possible, but worth a try. So I just want to do hello, and that's in. I'll find it as soon as I've finished here, won't I? That's usually the way. Is that one there? Just close that up. And then I want, same sort of thing I'm going to do here and here, and put some Stampin' Seal. See, actually I don't need that mat there. And then yeah, do my little bows, the loops. So there, come round, see, twist it round, and then I thought I had left plenty, but done that again, so just cut that off and add that on with a mini glue dot. Tuck that on there. Just tuck that back through the back there. And then I might just trim that so it's the same length as that one. And then all I want to do is add some dimensionals onto the back there. And doesn't really need too much. Oh, you start sort of seeing gaps, don't you? And think, oh, maybe I need to add. That should do. Add it in there. Oops. And I just want to tuck that there, and then add yet more rhinestones. So this would be a good class. Yeah, like Narelle said, it would work as a really good class. And you could, you know, everyone buy some, you know, have the whole pack of DSP, and you could use it and take away what you've left over and make some cards at home. So, oh, that still looks cute with that different die. And then the last one is this one here. And this is more Pear Pizzazzy again. And here's my card bases that I got. Just line that up. And they would be getting a great variety. Yeah, they will. Yeah, and because you can put any sentiments, just whatever works. I was just trying to do different things, but it wouldn't really matter if you did do all the same. I think people mind. It's not like unless they're giving them to the same person. So I'll just do that on that as well. And then let's make sure my little peaches are up the right way. And this one I've just put the ribbon around with the white, but you know, you could colour it green or and I think what I did, I don't know why I went, is I think I put a double layer, but you don't need to. One works perfectly. Well, sometimes we go to all that trouble and nobody notices anyway. Just to cover that join really. And then I'm just going to add that onto the card base. And then the last couple of dies. So I've got both these ones here and need some, oh, yep, Pizzazz, that will fit on there. And some white here. So I'll just quickly cut those. Won't be a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Narelle will tell you a joke. Oh, how's it going? I've already done my gym class for today. It was lovely. We do it outside, so it's really perfect day. And this one is going on dimensionals, and I just put it straight on. I don't know, do people tell jokes the same these days? Maybe not, I'm not sure. I haven't heard a good joke in ages. Right, so that, and then after I'd done the thanks, I thought, oh, it looked a bit bland, so I flicked my pen over it. So I got thanks and, oh no, that's not thanks here. Let's put that on an angle to make sure it fits on the block. Hopefully that's straight. A joke. I'm too tired today. I've been watching the tennis. Oh no, I haven't been watching. My mum watches the tennis. I don't know why I don't. Because I like my sleep. And then flick that just to, yeah, just take a bit of the whiteness off. And then I'm just going to put some more dimensionals on there. Okay. Tuck that on there. And I'll use some more rhinestones, and I'll use the bigger ones because they will work quite well in there. Just see, tuck that. Could always pop some holes in there and tie the tie the ribbon through there. Let's get a different look. So that is that. I'll just clear some of this rubbish off. so we can have another look. So you've got that one there, that one there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So pretty good, yeah, 6 cards out of 1 sheet. So I think that works really well. So that was, oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Yeah, I think that you know, that's in an hour. Yes, I was just copying what I've already done, but to get 6 cards in an hour, I don't know about you, but sometimes it can take an hour or more just to get 1 card created and made. So getting 6 makes you feel quite good, I think. So thanks very much for hanging out with me today. It was fun. Enjoyed making these, and yeah, great way to use up some DSP. So if you make some, please tag me. I'd love to see them, and especially using different DSPs, some different sentiments, anything really, be fun. So thanks again, and have a great week, and I'll see you here again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.